We're still checking people in, and we will continue to take check-ins. We're going to make runs down to Lellman to drop people off until about 5 o'clock tonight, and then we'll shut it down for the night. And in the morning, we will run everybody else that has returned from work or checked into the facility in tomorrow morning, and then we will shut the doors.
Great. Thank you so much.
I'm sending a bunch of food, blankets, and wipes and stuff shortly.
Excellent. No unmet needs at this time?
No.
Perfect.
Yeah, no.
I asked Corporal Reeves. He also didn't have any unmet needs, but he promised he'd let me know if he did.
Great. And you all are staffing that and have had no issues with getting that staffed?
What was that, Dominique?
No staffing issues, right? You have the additional staff there?
Oh, no. They follow directions. They're good.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead, and Jessica's joined us, so I'm going to mute myself and let her speak on the weather update. Thanks, everyone.
Sorry for the delay. I got stuck talking to someone. So the current forecast, I mean, we're kind of in that area where the forecast exact tracking now doesn't really matter. We know we're going to see impacts, and we know we're going to be seeing a major hurricane as it approaches landfall. I do want to let everyone know, I know there's some buzz of it's shifted south a little bit, and where that is accurate, we've seen it shift every time we've gotten one of these reports. So just know that that doesn't dramatically change really any of the impacts we're going to see. We're still going to be seeing those effects from a major hurricane, even if it makes landfall a little bit south of us. Now, it may not be quite as severe as 15 feet of storm surge, but it's still going to be significant amounts. So at this time, Hurricane Ian
Let's get an Uber over. I don't know. Does Kaylee have Uber? I do. Okay. Do you want my card?
Hurricane Ian is moving 125 miles per hour. It's moving very, very slowly, 10 miles per hour, which means this storm is crawling across, which means that it's going to really sit and drop a lot of rain and impacts in our community for a long time. So that being said, we're still looking and preparing for potentially up to 10 feet of storm surge. The additional really important hazard that we need to be aware of is the rainfall amounts, regardless of the exact track of the storm, are not going to vary by a whole lot. So at this time, we're still anticipating really anywhere from 15 to 20 inches of rainfall, with isolated amounts up to 30 inches. And so what that means is, because the grounds are wet, that rain is going to have nowhere to absorb to. And so if you add that rain falling and then you add the water being pushed in, we really have a high risk of being underwater and flooded in lots of different pockets of the community, simply because it's just a lot of water that's going to sit for a long time. Currently, the impact zone is still forecasted about Wednesday, 4 a.m. to Thursday, 5 p.m. So that's still 37 hours, which is a significant amount of time to have a major hurricane bearing down on our community. That may shift just a little bit, but again, remember, those are the major impacts. We're still not going to necessarily be able to get out into the communities after 5 p.m. on Thursday. Damage assessment crews, et cetera, are going to need to come out. They're still anticipating major power outages really across the whole county. Search and rescue teams are starting to get ready to mobilize now. Of course, those teams can't go out on the roads when the conditions are not safe, but they will be coming out afterwards with the anticipation that there are lots of folks that didn't evacuate that should have. And so we're hoping that, you know, what we think could happen isn't, but search and rescue teams will be ready and on standby. Let's see. The other piece of information that's starting to increase now, we've talked all week about the potential for tornadic activity. Now's the time where we're going to see that level and that risk start to grow. And so as the winds and those bands start to come into the community, there's going to be an enhanced risk for tornadoes and water spouts. So we just want people to be very aware of that increased hazard as well. And I'm just going through my notes here. So all of the shelters are officially open as of 7 a.m. this morning. You can find all that information on the website. That's keeping accurate. There are still the 3 special needs shelters. This is really the time for final preparations to be made. We know starting in the middle of the night tonight is when the severe winds are going to start to come through. And so we're going to make sure that we've got everything hunkered down, your home's secure, your family's secure, your facilities and your clients all secure, because we're almost kind of at that out of time period. I'm just trying to see if I forgot anything. Is there any questions that anybody has for me today?
Sorry, Jessica, what did you say we're now expecting the storm surge to be?
Oop, Victoria, I think you're muted. I couldn't hear what your question was.
Sorry, what did you say that we're now expecting the storm surge to be?
So storm surge is still up to 10 feet. So yeah, and especially those low-lying areas, the really bigger concern, and this certainly isn't to downplay any of the other areas. Obviously, Barrier Islands, we're going to see a lot of underwater. Also in that Bay North area, so that Safety Harbor, Oldsmar area is really anticipating a lot of that water to end up pushing up as well.
Thank you.
And just the other piece to remember, you know, and right now people are getting stuck on, was it a Cat 3, a Cat 4, regardless if it shifts, you know, 5 miles per hour or not. Winds are anticipated, sustained, could be up to 125 miles per hour. So that is incredibly fast wind. And even if that varies, you know, a few miles here and there, that's a long time and a long duration to have those winds. So just kind of want folks to be aware of that as well. And then just kind of FYI, due to the nature of some of the folks that you guys work with the lockdown period, you know, the law enforcement EMS won't be able to roll on the road for any sort of rescues or assistance. That's not to say that if someone does end up making it to a shelter, those shelters will never stop intake if that's needed. So even if someone decides I'm going to ride out the storm at my house, something happens, the roof it gets damaged, or they start to get nervous and somehow they make it to a shelter, we allow folks to register at any time because we want to keep them and get them out of the elements. So just know that if there are any last minute emergencies, all the shelters will be doing intake if needed throughout the evening and night. Any other questions?
Great. Thank you so much, Jessica. I know you're really busy, so if you need to run, I can send you any follow-up questions that the group may have.
Perfect. And thank you guys for what you're doing. We're kind of at that, you know, 11th hour for what we've been preparing for all week. And so I wish you all to be safe and all of our clients to be safe. And I appreciate all the work and the stress and the hard things that you've had to make decisions on this week to keep our folks as safe as we can. We'll see what it looks like on the other side. And I'm always here if you have questions.
Jessica, I will ask one more question. Are you wanting us to still meet tomorrow as the lockdown will be happening overnight, or should we regroup on Thursday or Friday?
I think if we want to meet tomorrow, we can, even if it's just to kind of get an update on where the storm is, if any of that timing has changed. I'm trying to think tomorrow at noon. We still won't necessarily know where lockdown is going to be over, but we'll be closer tomorrow at noon. So I think it's okay, even if it's just a quick kind of here's where we're at, that would be fine.
Thank you. So we'll keep the 1 o'clock on the calendar for now. And if you're able to join us, more as a weather update, we'll move forward with that. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to want to pivot back to shelter check-ins. And I cannot see questions or hand raised because I'm on my cell phone, but please, I'm going to go next. Do we have anybody from Pinellas Hope here? Last update I had from them is they were evacuating to Largo High, and I know they were arriving earlier today, so they're probably still doing that. Also, Salvation Army.
I don't know if they're here, but
Hi.
there we go. Okay.
Hi, it's Clarissa. We evacuated this morning around 10 o'clock. Everything went smoothly. We just and registered our clients. But when we got to Johns Hopkins, they stated that they said that they weren't appropriate referrals, and they ended up at Gibbs High School. So we have a couple of clients who are a little out of sorts at Gibbs, but everybody has been evacuated. All of our needs have been met, and everybody is situated right now. We did, had a, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you know approximately how many were checked in at Gibbs?
It was approximately 85 clients. I'm sorry, approximately 70 clients. About 20 of them had other plans of evacuation. They went to friends' houses or other places like that.
Mhm. Perfect, thank you. What was your question? You had a follow-up statement?
No, I was saying that our kitchen did cook for some shelters, some emergency shelters. So we were able to send out meals for 300 people for dinner and 175 for lunch.
Great. Thank you very much. Any
You're welcome.
other needs at this time?
No other needs at this time.
Great. Great. Those are the 3 shelters I know that had to evacuate. Are there any other providers on the line that are doing evacuation efforts?
This is Ashley from HEP. We had to evacuate our dorm, our adult shelter. So we got all of them out this morning before noon, and they're all they're at Largo High, Dunedin Middle, and then some went with friends and family. We also had some permanent shelter in evacuation zones, but most of them refused to leave. So we provided them with, everything that we could on our end. And, they have phone numbers to reach out to staff if they need assistance during the storm. And other than that, we're just sandbagged and kind of ready to wait it out. No unmet needs at this time either.
Thank you. St. Vincent de Paul. Street outreach.
Sure. We, as of now, do not have any staff, including street outreach, out in the field delivering services. And we'll reassess after the weather passes through.
Great, thank you. Were there still 8 in hotels?
We went over our numbers today and we are at 6 people in hotels. 6
Okay.
families, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Seeing if there's any other shelter providers on the line today. I do not see any. If there's any other shelter providers on the line, please unmute yourself.
Dominique, this is Larry MacArthur with West Care.
Hey Larry, thank you.
We just, we're in the process as we speak of evacuating Mustard Seed. All of those folks, we have 46 individuals that are evacuating to our Davis Bradley residential facility. Turning Point is going to remain open. They're in a non-evac zone. And so they are boarding up windows also as we speak. But we're anticipating to ride the storm out at that location as well.
Okay. Great. I just want to confirm, no one from St. Vincent de Paul is on the line. The only one that had potential evacs. Okay. Anyone have any other questions that I can help direct or get some guidance on for all of you? All right, well, this will be a short call today. I appreciate everyone taking the time again out of their day, working for our community, working for our clients and residents. I hope that you stay safe this afternoon and evening. Again, we'll have the 1 o'clock call tomorrow. You can reach out to my cell phone directly. I have limited email access right now, And I will try and help troubleshoot in any way I can. Again, stay safe and thank you all for coming on today.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Everyone,
Bye,
stay
bye,
safe.
Dominique. Stay safe.
Bye. Take care.
You.
Bye-bye.
Bye.